This public land elk hunt here in New Mexico is so classic of what our show is all about. The location, the guest hunter we have, Bruce Pettet from Leupold, the place the elk are, the lessons it taught us, and just the strenuous nature of what it's like to hunt these public lands. And those of you who watch the show know that we go to where the elk are, because where elk are is usually where hunters are not. Randy's first rule of elk hunting: if hunters don't want to go there, elk probably do. As those of you who watch our show know, Leupold's been supporting us since we began. And Bruce Pettet is the CEO, and he called me, he's like, Randy, I love public land hunting. I love the style of hunting you do. Let's find one of those really difficult elk hunts and let's go do one. And I'm like, whoa, this is not usually the request that is made of me, so let's do it.
As America's Optics brand, at Leupold, we're committed to public hunting, and that's one of the things that makes us so proud to be in partnership with Randy. He is the real deal, and his commitment to public hunting and hunting on public lands is absolutely needed.
Well, Bruce, not a bad start. We've been here 5-10 minutes and elk.
Lots of elk.
Yeah,
Lots.
That's cool. We picked Bruce up at the airport on our way back from another hunt, drove 3 hours down here, just got here. And it's not our normal situation where we have 2 or 3 days to scout. We have this evening to scout. Season starts in the morning. So to see elk right away is like, whew,
It's awesome.
Yeah, this could work out, so.
Well, I've been looking forward to hunting with you for a long time, so.
Me too.
This is
looking forward to it.
Been waiting for this.
Yeah, I hope you still say that when we go 1,800 feet down this canyon.
I know that's what we're gonna do. I'm mentally prepared. Physically, I don't know, but mentally, I'm prepared.
So getting here with 1 day in advance, it was just get to spotting locations. Glass, glass, glass. Not just glass to find elk, but glass to see what the terrain looks like. Glass to see how accessible it is, how difficult it would be. How difficult it is going to determine how many elk are probably there and how few hunters are hopefully there. And that's what we spent the first day doing. It was nothing but moving glass, moving glass. With all these elk we're seeing here, I think if we went over that way and used that knob there, and came around the crest of this ridge, because since they're coming out of these bottoms at night to feed, obviously they're going to reverse that in the morning. The reason that I like to hunt roadless backcountry areas, just like this wilderness area here that's managed by the Forest Service, is that that's the reservoir where the elk live. In this unit, they can grant all kinds of tags outside the wilderness area because that wilderness area serves as such a sanctuary that the herd and the age class of the herd, the health of the herd, just kind of spills out of there like you're overflowing a glass. And it's that reason that I'm such a big advocate for backcountry areas. Whether they're officially designated wilderness or whether they're just roadless areas, I don't care. I know that's where there's gonna be more elk. Because there's more elk, it's easier to get tags, and the age class is gonna be better. Well, Bruce, we found lots of elk. We just didn't find that super big one we were looking for.
No, we didn't see him. We saw a lot of nice elk though.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to hedge our bet in the dark and be somewhere up there that we can glass that, because the sun's gonna come up over here and light up that hillside, and we wanna be somewhere where we can be picking out pieces.
Yeah, it's somewhere off this ridge right here, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. After a day of scouting, Bruce and I go back that night and we pull up the computer and we're doing Google Earth. We're just trying to figure out, all right, where are hunters most likely to go in the morning because it's easier. where are the elk most likely to be because it's uglier. And we picked a spot. We're like, all right, we got to go to this road where it's gated, and we're going to have about, I don't know, an hour hike to get up to these glassing ridges we want to be at. I looked at Bruce, Bruce looked at me, and we're looking at the map, we're looking at Google Earth. We're like, that's an ugly place. But my experience tells me that's where elk are going to be.
Leupold's Fresh Tracks with Randy Newberg is brought to you by Leupold, America's Optics Authority. Go Hunt Insider, changing how hunts are found. Kenetrek Boots for the trail less traveled. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. And by Rocky Mountain Game Calls. We call the game.
So opening morning, typical of what we do on any of our elk hunts, it's an hour and a half before the sun comes up, and we're already walking in. I mean, we don't even hear any vehicles on the roads by the time we're leaving the truck, because our goal is we want to be at our glassing spot a half hour before the sun comes up. The idea is, let's climb up to these ridges, let's get in a good glassing place, and let's find where the elk are. Because at that first light, that first hour, hour and a half, that's when you're going to find these elk. If you're leaving the truck at daylight, you're too late. You're not going to get to those glassing spots. The elk are already going to be bedded by the time you get there.
Well, Bruce, we've heard, what, 5 or 6 different bugles right up here. Yeah, at least. Hopefully Neil is first and fills his tag first. Well, we're first. Nothing like getting up here an hour or 2 early, you know.
And even as we're sneaking along, we're hearing a few elk bugle. We get to the place we want to be. It's not quite perfect. So as the gray light starts coming up, we move a little bit more and we're bumping elk. We get into this small herd, just had a couple small elk in it. And it's kind of slowing us down in our process to get to what we think is even a better glassing location.
Same two little 4x4s. We gotta get out there because there's so much other country I want to be able to see before the sun gets up higher.
Well, finally, we get out to that glassing location we want to get to. And as we expected when we looked on Google Earth, when we looked on our map, we said, you know what? That is a bull sanctuary. And you people hear me talk about it all the time, sanctuary, sanctuary. In the post-rut and the late season, elk are in sanctuary mode. In other words, survival mode. Where do I go find a place that a hunter does not want to come and look for me? And this unit has a lot of it. I mean, a lot of ugly, nasty places that hunters are not going to want to go.
Yeah, this is pretty rugged over here. I can see how people don't like coming in this.
And so while we're sitting there glassing, it's like, oh, there's a bull over here. Oh, there's 2 down here. There's 2 more over here. We're looking at each other like, we thought it was a sanctuary, but we had no idea it was this kind of sanctuary. I would guess that from that one knob, we glassed 20 different bulls over the course of the morning. And it's getting to be, I don't know, 9:30 in the morning. And we find this really, really big bull, and we're all looking at each other like,
It's a nice bull.
that's a really nice I don't know. I mean, it's up to you if you want to shoot him.
He's worth the trek.
He's worth the trek. If we shoot that bull, it's gonna be. It's a good thing we blocked out 5 days for this hunt, because the next one might be packing him out in little itty bitty pieces. That is a hellhole. That is one of those places you only go if it's a special pull. And it took probably an hour and a half of glassing, and finally we saw this bull, and he is a whopper. Bruce, that bull just got up out of his bed. It's about 9:45. I think he's gonna go and find a different bed as his day bed.
He's heading uphill.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
There's a huge bull down in this basin. He's got 2 smaller bulls with him, and he's in an absolute nasty, nasty hole. We've been watching him for probably 45 minutes, an hour now. And he bedded, but then he got back up, and he's on the move again now. And we're looking at each other like, if we do this, this is going to be closer to a 24-hour affair than a morning affair. And if you've ever hunted, and you've hunted for elk in a place like this, and you've spotted that big bull, you know that sometimes common sense goes out the window, because as elk hunters, we just have this single focus, this passion-driven idea that I'm going after that elk. That elk and I are gonna have an encounter today. Just getting there, I look at my GPS, we're gonna have to drop 1,800 vertical feet in 3/4 of a mile through burn, blow down, like 3-year-old regrowth. It is going to be as ugly as anything we've ever done. So once you decide that you're gonna go into one of these places, it's not like you went down partway down a road and you're gonna turn around and walk back. Once you go, you're committed. It's now you and that elk, not just any elk, you and that elk. Because on our way down through this jungle, through this mess, we're bumping bulls. Some of them we get to see, some we don't get to see. It takes us, I don't know, the better part of 2.5 hours to drop that 1,800 feet. We just dropped 1,800 and some vertical feet in 3/4 of a mile. And now we're gonna gain another 520 vertical feet in 1/3 of a mile. Because just over these rocks is a big bull bedded. We put him to bed at 10 o'clock. We saw him get up and move a little bit on our way down when we took a break, but I don't know any other way to do it, so that's the plan. On our way up this ascent, not too far after we left the bottom of the canyon, Bruce says, I hear an elk walking. And I'm like, really? And sure enough, an elk walks out of this little finger canyon, and he stands out there at 185 yards, and I put my binoculars on him. I'm like, that's a damn nice elk. It's not as big as the one we're going after, but if you want to shoot that one, Bruce, you got my permission, because we could skid him right down to the bottom of the canyon easy, and it'd be a whole lot more of a sure thing. That's not a bad bull. 186.
Leupold's Fresh Tracks with Randy Newberg is brought to you by Howa Precision Rifles and Barreled Actions, Sitka Specialized Outdoor Wear and Equipment, Hunt by Onyx Maps, Land Ownership Hunting Maps, Nosler, when your tag is drawn, make it count, load Nosler up front, and by the Boone and Crockett Club.
That's a damn nice elk. It's not as big as the one we're going after, but if you want to shoot that one, Bruce, you got my permission, because we could skid him right down to the bottom of the canyon easy. That bull was a very heavy, mature 6-point bull. If anything, given his big body size, he might have been a bull that's in the regressive phase rather than on the progressive phase. But Bruce, he didn't even chamber around. He's like, no, that's not the one we came down here for. I'm like, whoa, this guy's committed. Randy, you gotta be on your A game, because if Bruce is willing to pass up this quality of a bull in this prime location as far as extracting the bull, you better make sure that when you guys get there, your plan hasn't failed. So I'm feeling this pressure like, oh my God. We just keep on plodding away, and it's so slow going. It's so slow. Finally, by 5 o'clock, a little before 5, we get to where we're gonna go over the crown of the ridge where this bull and 2 other bulls have been bedded. And we get there and we're like, where are they? We can't find them. Oh no, what are we doing? It probably takes 10 minutes before finally Tyler, the camera guy's like, I see a bull in the brush down there. They're moving in and out of this thick stuff, and we're trying to get set up with a shot. And any of you who hunt burn areas know that a lot of times those burned trees are just like a fortress of just brush, that you're trying to pick these narrow little shooting lanes of where could I get lined up.
I can't shoot it from here though. I can't shoot from here until he clears that tree on this side.
And finally, the bull gets in a position, and Bruce sets up the backpacks. And I had ranged that, and it was 404 yards.
You see that one tree and that one branch in the way? That's what I'm worried about. Come on, let's go for it. It's a hit, right?
Drilled him. Hit him again, you're dead. Got him again.
Those are both hits.
He's down.
He's down.
Yep. He just did the victory roll, Bruce. What a shot, Bruce. How did you thread that thing through there? Both
I had a
shots
little lane
drilled
there.
him.
I had a little lane.
Gosh.
What a hunt, buddy. Randy, it doesn't get better than that. That maybe go down as best all time for me, seriously.
Bruce made an unbelievable shot. He hit that bull right here in the pocket. The exit wound was right out the other pocket, and that bull was dead. I mean, that bull was dead as disco. And here we are. It's now taken us 7 hours from when we left our glassing spot just to get in shooting position. 7-hour stock to get in shooting position through some of the most miserable, God-forsaken stuff you've ever seen.
That is epic right there. That is an epic moment. Big old 6x6. Kidding me? Love that bull.
Look at that exit wound. 404 yards.
If you want to go and kill that elk that is the one you're looking for, you can't let the terrain, the distance, the topography, the brush deter you. They say that 90% of the elk are killed by 10% of the people. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I do know that group of people who kill elk consistently are the ones that mentally are tough, who can block out all those other things and say, I came here to kill an elk. If it takes me 3 days to get it out, if it takes me 2 days to get it out, I don't care. What was I going to do for those 2 days or 3 days anyhow? And every year on public land, those are the type of people who are filling tags. And on this hunt, Bruce was exactly in that mode. I was so impressed. He was not going to give up. He came here and he promised me, he said, Randy, if we see an elk, I will tell you, there's no place I won't go if it's the elk I want. And as you can see, that's what he did. And as I'm walking out that night, we're walking down the trail and we all have plenty of loads on our back. And Bruce is carrying this set of antlers and it's getting tangled and hooked on everything he walks by. And when someone just keeps plowing through and does not in any way, shape or form even blink, not even mention that this is miserable, all they do is smile and say, you know what, this is what I came here for. To come and find a guy like Bruce who shares the passion for the chase like I do, who shares this commitment to public lands like he does and his whole Leupold team does, that's when you realize, you know what, I want to hunt with him again. He's my kind of guy. There's no place he won't go. There's no place I won't go.